Hello there, Aquarius. How are you today? I hope you're doing well. Welcome to my channel, Divine Nudges. I'm going to do an energy check in for you today. I do this every month. It is my attempt to practice good spiritual hygiene, check in with the soul, check in with the higher self, and do it periodically enough where we can catch ourselves before going too far off track should we get distracted from what's important to us or from what should be most important to focus on. All right, Aquarius, so let's get right to it. Let's see what is blocking Aquarius right now. What is blocking Aquarius right now? Aquarius, I'm sure you already know this, but it is always worth mentioning. This is a collective reading. So not all messages will resonate with each of you. Take what does and forget about the rest. Unless you know someone else it would resonate with. El Diablo, some of you are trying to cut out codependencies. It could be substances. It could be codependent relationships. Some of you are trying to cut out toxic connections, habits, attitudes, and you may be finding it just a bit challenging at the moment. Okay. Finding your sovereignty, your place of freedom, and releasing right now, and kind of like reclaiming your energy in your space, right? I see where that's posing a bit of a challenge for you, my loves. Or you may need to, okay, if you're feeling blocked, it may be because you're not recognizing that there is a need for you to release those things, to cut cords, to work on letting go of certain habits or, mindsets. Okay. For some of you, it's partying, spending money, um, rather than, practicing good financial health. Okay. That might be getting in the way for you. Um, having a hard time saying no to going out. Okay. For some of you, though, you may be feeling a little bit isolated, as if you're alone in the world and you don't really feel like you have friends or family to connect with, whether it's a soul tribe or your actual, biological, physical family. Okay. And for some of you, self doubt is showing up as a blockage right now. Oh, money. Money is always something. Okay. For some of you, there may be something going on in your homes as well that's kind of feeling like a block right now or some sort of a distraction. Some of you may feel like there is toxic energy in your homes that you need to get out. Okay. Um, yeah, some of you may be feuding with your families at the moment. It could have something to do with money, or some sort of a loss, maybe some big decisions that need to be made. But there's definitely something going on with your family right now that is presenting as a blockage, okay? And it could be some generational curses that you have identified and trying to break them, maybe, subconsciously and maybe consciously, but definitely subconsciously, causing others around you to be very resistant and combative and opposition to you. Some of you just don't feel like you really have the finances to feel as free as you would like to feel at this point in your life. And some of you may be feeling like, had your family better prepared you for, in terms of financial literacy, financial responsibility, that maybe you would have made better decisions, when you were in a place to make your own decisions. Um, and that may be presenting as a block because it's not something that they have control over anymore. You're the only one who has control of it now. So if you get too stuck on how you were impacted in the past, or not get too stuck, because I think for most of us, we all get stuck on that. Um, but if we don't move past it, if we don't find a way to move past it, then you're really not exercising the control in your life that you actually really have. Because the thing about being stuck in the past is that it comes with the illusion that we're still not in control of our present life. And that's just not true. So, memories and reminiscing is very, very powerful. I feel like it sends subconscious um, messages to the mind and the body that you're literally still in the past and not in the present. And that's why they say thoughts are so powerful. One more spirit from the tarot deck. What else is blocking Aquarius right now? Yeah, definitely feeling stuck. And needing a new perspective, my loves. Okay. Like really being willing to sacrifice, and I feel like this is something that's been coming up as a block for all of the signs. Um, you know, Sacrificing your entitlement to feeling angry and feeling the pain inside of you based on, experiences of your past that brought trauma, right? It's going to feel like a sacrifice because it's going to feel like it's not fair. It's going to feel like, you know, um, the negative ways in which you were impacted, should be realized by those who are responsible. Some way, somehow, they should be made to see the error of their ways. They should feel guilty. They should apologize. Holding on to that stuff is part of how we hold on to the past. Okay, so sacrificing the apology that we never got and that we may never get is going to be important in our own healing journey, in our ability to regain control of our circumstances, and to take the power away from those that pain, that trauma, and those people who caused it. And one thing, I think sometimes we get lost is that some of those wrongs are perceived wrongs, meaning they weren't as intentional as they felt. Because we're dealing with humans who likely were dealing with pain and trauma of their own that became a cycle. It was passed down from their predecessors, and they became so programmed by those patterns that they didn't even realize, number one, how they were negatively impacted, and number two, how they were continuing that negative impact in their lineage. Okay. But yeah, release. Because, I mean, if we keep it real with ourselves, Aquarius, some of your toxic attitudes, some of your toxic tendencies, some of your toxic connections are a result of those things that you feel you didn't even have control over. So why are you continuing to punish yourself through the decisions that are made consciously or subconsciously as a result of that trauma? I hope that makes sense. Sorry, I'm just trying to see what else I might be getting from this spread that I have here in front of me. All right, my loves, let's pull some shadow. You know, I find that I'm a shadow worker just as much as I'm a light worker because I find it so important to go into the shadows and shed light. You see what I did there? A light worker who's a shadow worker. Go into the shadows and shed light on what is controlling us subconsciously. Okay, Aquarius, procrastination is a block for you right now. You keep putting things off and then it becomes a bad habit. So you need to use time management strategies, okay? Some of you need to be very intentional about how you manage your time so that you don't just casually let things fall to the wayside. I feel like I didn't say that correctly, but I hope. Fade into the background. Indecisive, okay? So some of you really fear, and because this is in the reverse, this is coming across to me as a very deep and profound fear of making the wrong decisions in life, okay? And there's a need for you to learn how to trust your instincts. And I feel as if though through your upbringing, you didn't get to practice trusting your instincts a lot. You may have had the type of family that was very controlling or put a lot of fears in your mind, and made you feel as if though like didn't even give you a chance to experience the world for yourself, right? This isn't going to resonate with everyone, by the way. I know an Aquarius, who at a very young age left her family and her home to go experience the world on her own. So this isn't going to resonate with everyone, but for some of you, you may feel as if though your family really didn't give you the opportunity to experience the world on your own. Um, they may have made you afraid to do that. Okay. For others of you, part of that fear could be the way that maybe your family was really judgmental and it gave you analysis paralysis because you felt like you couldn't win. Okay. Let's keep going here. There may be some arrogance, the inability to see your own flaws. Okay. Knowing your limitations while learning how to improve. Okay. There may be a need for you to really turn the microscope onto yourself, Aquarius. Okay. And really take accountability for where you go wrong, for the part that you play in unfavorable circumstances or relationships, events, interactions, so on and so forth, okay? Because there's a bit of an avoidance here. You avoid discomfort. And I'm sensing that that's also, maybe you come from a family that brushed things under the rug instead of addressing them head on. Okay. But there is a need to, you know, yes, you there is a need to avoid discomfort, but there's also the need to overcome it and thrive. So to some degree, you can't avoid it, right? So sometimes it has to be addressed, starting with our own flaws, our own weaknesses, right? Um, so in your avoidance of that, you may be becoming a little bit arrogant and a little bit unable to see, again, what your own limitations are. So just be careful to not, again, blame everything on everyone else, because then you'll never, if you're always at everyone's mercy, then your life will be based on everyone's mercy. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, you don't have any control over your life if you feel like everyone else is at fault for how you experience things, Aquarius. All right. What other blockages are there? Authority. Some of you have a problem with authority, or some of you are being blocked by taking on a leadership role in your own life. Some of you, you know, feel like people don't respect you. So there's something about self confidence, and that might be why you avoid accountability in some way, because making you accountable means that you were in control of your actions. You were in control of your decisions. You were your own boss. You're the CEO of your own life. And some of you feel like you won't be respected, or that you're not respected enough. And again, that prevents you, being judged, or maybe some people feel like treat you like you're a child. Maybe you feel like people see you as a child or don't want to let you grow up. And that's so, that prevents you from, like, you're buying into the narrative. And so that prevents you from being an authority in your own life. Okay, so I'm speaking to a group of Aquariuses who, I don't want to say cower, but that's the word that's coming to mind, who subject themselves, who are very submissive to very strong personalities, and to maybe the authority figures from their childhood that continue to pop up in different bodies, in different avatars throughout our adult lives. Independence is a blockage for you right now. We talked a little bit about how some of you feel like you don't really feel financially stable enough to really have the freedom that you want in your life. So manage money yourself, okay? Because independence guarantees securities. Don't depend on others, okay? So for those of you who may over rely on others for your stability and your foundation, it's time for you to manage money on your own, manage your stability and your foundation on your own. Because again, you don't want to give people the power. I'm speaking with some Aquariuses that give people their power. Okay. So if you are overly reliant on others for your stability, for a roof over your head, it's time for you to start saving for a rainy day. It's time for you to be able to say, I'm going to be okay no matter what, because I've planned accordingly to be okay no matter what. Winning. Sooner or later, luck comes to everyone. Don't spend everything at once. Some of you just feel like you have bad luck. And that's another way that you give your power away. That's another way that you remove accountability. You know what I mean? And that's another way that you don't have control, just by thinking that you just have bad luck, that no matter what happens, you can't win. When life is less about luck and more about preparation, so that when the right opportunity comes around, you're fully prepared for it. So if you save up and one day you're like, oh my gosh, I was waiting for the market to make homes affordable again, and now I can afford a home. Or you come across an affordable apartment, or, you have enough money to invest in stocks in a way where you can get a return on your investment. That's what luck really is. Luck is when preparation meets opportunity. Some of you are really distracted by foolishness, okay? There are some subtle cues, okay, that you guys get about impending danger, right? Like a breath away from potential chaos, okay? Um, those are the times where you need to, that's when the universe is saying, hey, this could be you. Maybe this isn't impacting you directly, but maybe you're seeing it in others. Maybe you're seeing it in the world around you. Some of you most recently have experienced some really close calls. That's the universe's way of telling you, listen, you can't keep winging it. You can't keep winging it, because some close calls are going to need you to be prepared, not getting lucky in the moment because, someone was able to save the day for you. You can't keep winging it. One more from this deck, and then I'm going to close out the reading, my loves. Time's relentless advance. Okay, so some of you grapple with the irreversibility of time, right? Maybe you feel like there are things that you can't change anymore, like it's too late. There are things you can't change. You've made mistakes. You can't take them back. Um, for others of you, you're not getting any younger. You're not getting any younger. And no, you can't change your past, but you can prepare for your future. Okay, because time is a ticking. And so maybe some of you, again, have been distracted by way too much foolishness in your past, or just haven't been planning the way that you should for your future. There is a need to live in the moment always, right? Living in the moment means you're not like obsessing about the past that leads to depression, obsessing about the future that leads to anxiety. Okay, so living in the moment is just taking in the present moment and knowing that in this moment you're safe, everything is okay, and that you've survived many things, and addressing your weaknesses and leveraging your strengths to prepare for your future, right? So preparation is the calm heading towards your future. It's heading towards your future calmly. Okay, so there's a message there for some, or even if it's just one of you, Aquarius. All right, Aquarius, this has been your reading. Be sure to check back next week for your November reading. Okay, I'll be posting those next week. If these messages have been helpful or resonated with you, please like, share, comment, or subscribe. Until next time, take care.